Yeah, I play him like a maniac, so.
This, it's a pretty tough matchup. You have some options here. What did you ban? You banned Tryndamere? I wouldn't be banning Tryndamere ever.
Okay.
The reason why is because I think you counter it personally.
Yeah, I mean, part of me wanted to leave it up because you could tell me what I do wrong because I'm usually running
here's
it
my
over
thoughts.
then,
I want to make them quick.
yeah.
I would dodge this a lot. And the reason why, your choice.
Should I just dodge it real quick? I'm cool with dodging it.
Yeah, dodge it because we've got 5 more minutes anyways. It's fine.
All right.
We're right on time, and we're way ahead of schedule actually in terms of like coaching time. So I'm gonna explain why though, and I'm gonna use I'm gonna share my screen. You have 2 screens?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna explain why we would dodge this, just so you can wrap your head around what I'm trying to do with the dodge. By the way, I've had people on YouTube recently that were like, because I said how dodging's stupid and it shouldn't be in the game. So to be clear, I don't think dodging should be in the game, but I'm not stupid. If I had this conversation with someone last night in private coaching, I don't want a gun in my house. Okay. I don't wish to have a gun in my house, but there's a chance I get murdered in my house. So we have a gun in our house. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like that. It's like, I don't want to have to dodge, but since it's available, I kind of have no choice. And since other people might do it to get an advantage over me, I have to do it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So I'm going to share my screen real quick. Click on the screen that you're sharing in Discord and you can swap to mine. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So basically you were facing Yorick. So it's basically GP versus Yorick. You have a Vlad, you have a Diana. Tryndamere is wrong, which we now know. And then I don't know what the remaining picks were, but when I see this, I see champions outside of maybe Diana, but every single champion here is pretty bad for us. Vlad isn't terrible, but Vlad scales and you're not going to be the one keeping him in check. So this guy gets free late game. Okay. Yorick, this matchup, shitty for us after Yorick buff. Yorick pushes into us all game and has killed, well, he has lethal actually. So he has lethal all game. Do you agree?
I mean, you're the expert. So
how many times have you faced Yorick?
I've faced him a generous amount of times, and I think maybe they're just playing it wrong. That's probably
they are absolutely playing it wrong. I'm going to explain why. So
go ahead.
Well, your W doesn't do anything versus Yorick.
Right.
That's the problem. That's why it's a counter. So you're basically hard countered here. Which, you're right. I mean, I play, I'm probably not dodging that much in this elo that you're in. But just for the purposes of discussion, I'm giving you something to think about now because it just looks so bad for you in the first game.
Okay.
You shouldn't be killing Yorick, like, ever, if he plays it correctly. Right. If he pushes, if he starts pushing into you, you can never get rid of the push. I'm pretty sure your barrels don't even one-shot those ghoulies, if I'm not mistaken.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
It's a terrible matchup. It really is bad. So that was my first thought, is we're losing agency in this matchup. I'm not saying you have to ban Yorick, but it might be worth considering. Because sure. I'd rather face bad Darius and a bad, like, I don't know, Tryndamere or whatever, than a bad Yorick. Because Yorick's always going to be able to push into you, and with his ult, it's pretty hard to stop the push if he gets it going. Like, essentially what happens is he builds a giant wave and then, like, crashes it, and we can't fight him.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to avoid. Vladimir, same thing. He's probably not that great of a champ to face late game. We can't go anywhere near him late game. He'll just destroy us. And we're also having to itemize versus Yorick, so like this guy's gonna obliterate us late game. And then Diana jungle is like really strong in this meta right now, so this is more of just like meta consideration, right? It's just not a good. It's not a good. It's not a good trifecta to bump into. You have no agency top. You don't have anything to look forward to with your mid. Generally, what we're looking for with GP is we're looking for a lot of tanks. Would you agree?
The
reason I'm trying to expand your view of your champion is what I'm trying to do.
Go ahead. Yeah, it's just normally I look for somebody that's going to try and smash me lane. It goes the opposite way, and if there are a bunch of squishy champions, then it's easier versus like
squishy
a tank.
champions are great, but what I'm saying when I say tanks is that like the way that tanks fuck with you is CC, and since Gangplank has this W, he nullifies a lot of those kits. So like Shen, Maokai, Rammus, Galio, picks like this, GP shines really well because of that. Or champions that just have like CC that they need in order to get to you, or they have no way to hit your barrels, like any melee champs. So like your Tryndameres, your Fioras, we play well into those. Generally, I find champions that give us the hardest time gonna be champions. Like I said, Yorick's gonna be one that's a nightmare. Quinn can be a nightmare sometimes. Who else can be a problem? This is Yorick. There's Quinn. Camille. Camille's a nightmare. It's basically champions that like don't have to play your barrel game very much. So like in the example of like Camille, she can just E on top of your head and then auto attack reset your barrel, which makes your life really hard, right? Because it's like she could just engage on you on her terms.
Yeah.
But see, the Trynd ban is wrong because in my eyes, this is a very easy matchup. You literally just place a barrel on your head and just park on it, and he can't do anything to you.
Yeah, it just feels like I probably just fuck it up, but I'll do that. He just still ghosts at me, and he normally catches up with me and kills me.
Go ghost.
Maybe I just don't have a big enough lead.
Go ghost as well.
Yeah. I tried it once, and somehow I guess he got ahead of me that time. So
the point, well, basically what I'm trying to say is that like if you're finding that something is, so I want you able to think outside of the box on your own too. And this is good that you got me to coach you because I can get you thinking in that way. So say you're one trick, so you're gonna have more experience than most players on dealing with certain nuanced situations, right? So you're going to say things like, well, Tryndamere, you know, a good Tryndamere is going to... Basically, none of the Tryndameres you face are good. So I know for a fact, like if I play Gangplank, Tryndamere goes like 0-5 versus me because this is how it goes every time that I play this champion versus Tryndamere. So that's where I want to get you to. But the thing that Tryndamere can beat you on is that if he all-ins with Ghost and gets on top of you, there's really not much you can do. However... what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to do a cheater recall versus Tryndamere. So you're supposed to go Corrupting Pot, push 3 waves into Tryndamere. Third
come
wave,
back, get a D-Blade or
Dorn's
whatever.
Blade. Yeah, and then you go ahead and you can get your Sheen. And then if you can get Tabbies, if you can get Tabbies and Sheen and then just start chilling, there's really not much he can do.
Well, that's probably where I mess up. I'm really disrespectful. Like I get ahead and I just have damage. I'm like, I'll try and force the ult beforehand, but he'll just like hold on just long enough to be able to all in me. So
yeah, so just drain him out in terms of like don't let him get easy farm.
Yeah,
and then don't be afraid to go like early Sterix versus him. So like you go try 4 Sterix.
Okay, so
you
basically,
go ahead and queue
like
up. By the way, it should be close, right?
Yeah, it's probably past, but that's cool.
You're good.
So you're more of a fan of the Triforce because also this is probably just like the low elo mentality of I'm thinking of like when my bot lane is, you know, like 0-5 and 0-7 collectively, and
yeah, but that like never use that argument with me because I'm just going to tell you that doesn't matter.
Okay, I didn't know because I thought the damage potential theoretically with like Essence Reaver, the Shield Bow, and all of it together. I mean, I've seen like when I'm on the GP mains Reddit or whatever, they like there's different people who think differently. Like there's some, I think it's overwhelmingly more Triforce, and the higher elo people I watch say Triforce, but
let me give you the fucking no nonsense truth about a lot of those people in that subreddit. So a lot of those people in the subreddit have never faced good laners ever. They have no perspective on what good laning even looks like. So I faced people in like high elo Korea with Gangplank. I played it for like a month straight there. So my knowledge of this champion is just anything you're gonna get on that subreddit is bullshit. The only person I would ever even consider listening to in regards to a GP top lane matchup would be Solar Baka.
So I was gonna ask, what about I think he plays in Korea, Onion.
Onion, yeah, I mean, but he's gonna tell you the same thing I'm telling you.
Yeah, right. That's
because he knows the champion.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, sure.
I haven't played GP in years, but like I know for a fact, like not competitively, not like serious, I should say. But like he knows the champion, so he's gonna tell you the same thing. Because I already found that I already bumped into those hurdles that he's talking about. You face a good laner, you're pissed off if you try to do anything other than Triforce. And if you don't rush like early on, like you don't do things like cheater recalls. I bet you, and I haven't watched a lot of his content, I bet you if you look through his content, he's going to talk about cheater recall a lot.
Oh yeah. That's what I go for every game, because normally I can just bully them off the wave and make them TP back in or something like that, or maybe convince the jungler to come top to help make the wave crash.
So that's really what you're after, and realistically, it's just a lot of those guys on that subreddit don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and they're nice. What's your backup? Do you have one?
I mean, I'm blanking on it, but I mean, I could just be a punching bag.
Wukong is. Do you play that at all?
Yeah, I've played it. I'm cool with that.
Let's do Wukong.